going to be a long form one because I think this is important for shit. 50% of the country, actually, because 50% of marriages end in divorce. But, like, I know it can be tough dealing with kind of like a fractured family situation where it just like, it isn't really what it's supposed to be, like no one's really working with each other or against. Unlike some families, or you see them, they're all tight. Like this, bro. They might fight and argue, but they like this. They work for each other. They start companies together. But not all families are like that. Because a lot of people come from like, this is funny. I say this for even white people or any, like Genghis Khan was an Asian and killed a bunch of fucking people. It doesn't matter what race you are, you can kill people. But a lot of people come from warlords and people who just were fighting for a long time. So it's in our blood, basically, to kind of be a little dysfunctional and animalistic. And not only recently, the human race is just kind of shedding that messed up animalistic past and we're trying to be more civilized, but we're not quite there yet at all. People are still doing like animalistic shit. It's just, And speaking of animalistic shit, here's my point in getting that. So, you got the father, probably a dope dealer. The mother is a hoe. She wants some money. Just uses the fucking dude. And now you're a child support baby. It's a stressful situation to be in because, like, your parents, like, they like you, but they're never going to love you as much as, like, somebody who actually wanted you. Like, here, I know I said child support baby, but a lot of times it's an accident, but then they just take advantage of it. So, or they want the accident to happen, and then it's on purpose. So, yeah, it could be on purpose. Sometimes it's an accident, sometimes it's not. But, yeah, you gotta realize that a lot of people are going through that same messed up dynamic. You're not the only one. You're not alone. Like, if you can, like, find a support group or anyone to talk about this stuff with, this is my way. But, like, you just have to realize you have to move on and build a stronger family. It's like, that's why social media, a lot of people scroll and don't put the social in social media. But, like, once you start, like, joining these groups, these Patreons, maybe you're paying other creators to do stuff for you, then you start getting into social media a bit more. But if you're not socializing and providing anything and you only upload and you just watch, maybe like 1% of people are lucky and they could just upload and then they make money. But that ain't 99% of people. Like, most people, they gotta go through years and years of grinding, honing their skill, and marketing. Not everyone's super lucky or super blessed to have rich parents or trust funds. Not everyone. We're only going up right now, but yeah, even like, what should I do? Because, like, a lot of these moms, dude, they got their paycheck after the kid, was 18. Like, I don't want him here. Fuck it, get out. And then you're on your ass at 18. You gotta figure out how to survive. And, like, I thought I could just, like, walk into a police station and be like, all right, I want to become a cop. That ain't the case, though. Not anymore. Some places, yes, but that ain't the case. I tried to become a cop and no one would let me. I was pissed. I'm like, I don't want to be in law enforcement after that. That should be like a route we should provide people so they don't become criminals. And then they could put their negative behaviors into that job to do something positive. But instead, there's this elitism that's forming in so many police departments across the country that, like, the people who are actually in there, it's kind of like how people who are, like, secretly at the top, they just kind of lobby their favorite guy to be there. And it's not necessarily because, like, they're any much better than, like, a regular person. They knew that dude more, and they're a little up there. But that's the problem, because if somebody was never up there and they're just trying to find a way, I mean, you can get a law enforcement diploma on the internet, no problem. That's not the point. It's like, if you're taking my fucking tax dollars and you're still charging me for school, like, what the fuck? That's mean as shit. That's mean as shit. Ridiculous, man. Like, and the ridiculous part is, like, the NYC fucking firefighters and stuff, they prep you. All right, I had that chance taken away from me because of a police officer put me in a psych ward. Just because I said I felt a little suicidal. I just needed somebody to talk to. Y'all have psychology degrees, bro. I am using tax dollars. And then you just want to go so far to create another situation that's way overblown just for your own profit. It's evil. And a lot of police just want to get somebody in trouble. Like, they'll look for any way. It's so messed up. Not all of them are like that. Like, one time I stole stuff from a Walmart and then I got caught by the police. Instead of charging me for all the items I stole, since he saw that it was only shoes and it was because my other shoes were broken, he bought me the shoes. Not every cop is bad, but there's a lot of bad ones out there. I might be 22, but I got on the street like at 18, dude. I was like, that's one of the things why a lot of crime happens, from these messed up family dynamics. And then you're not raised with proper coping mechanisms or how to deal with when someone disagrees with you or does something messed up. And then maybe you never learn how to forgive people because that's just not a thing in the family. Then, like, that's where all this messed up stuff happens. Like, 80% of people who end up in jail grew up in a fatherless household. So, like, taking away the father from the family dynamic, like, you may not be okay with him, but if you do that, you're severely damaging your kid. He may not be perfect, but you want him to be around people who aren't perfect. That's my opinion. You don't, because you want them to see, like, maybe I could be a little better than that, Or he might have another opinion, and then, like, it's like a mix mash of both. I don't know. Unless if the dude's like a real fucking jack off, like he was like beating you or some shit. He's like beating you, or like he ain't really like doing anything. Like, he's just kind of doing the bare minimum, not trying to like go after it. He's just kind of trying to be content, I understand that situation because, like, you gotta improve yourself if you're having children. Like, things are getting more expensive as time goes on, so can't be just relaxing all the time. A lot of dudes just want to fucking chill and they don't want to work. Like, it's like the rapper fantasy that they sell. Like, they would rather live the fantasy of like smoking the weed and listening to the music than actually making the music. So, in all, keep this short. I don't need to really go too much into it. Find yourself or make yourself a new family. Find a group. Shoot, comedy is great. Comedy is great. Not all places in comedy, because some of them are drug filled. All of them are, but you know who also does drugs? Hunter Biden. So you're never going to escape that any route you go. Man, I saw a freaking TikTok of people in church snoring fentanyl. That was like, you can never escape it. You can never escape it, no matter what. Like, even if you're an alcoholic, guess what? You gotta see the liquor store every day. You gotta see it. You gotta hear people talk about it every day. You gotta see bars every day. Gotta do all that shit. Do I love both of my parents? Yeah. They weren't perfect, but most parents weren't, Like, I didn't have the worst parents in the world. It's just their relationship dynamic was so bad it inadvertently hurt my life, and I can't be super mad at them my whole life like that, because then I ain't ever going to like grow. And part of growing is letting go of anger. You know, like things are going to happen that you don't like. But instead of turning to anger, there's other coping mechanisms. Like you don't have to get angry. Some people like, oh, somebody they loved died horrifically. They may not cry. Maybe they're just knitting a lot. So, you know, that's what I mean. You know, coping mechanisms like that. You know, I learned that from a therapist. Like you need coping mechanisms. But like good ones, not bad ones. Not bad ones. So you develop your coping mechanism, you get your new family, which sometimes the new family falls apart just like the old one. So be prepared for that. Be prepared. But at the end of the day, you gotta deal with people. You know, like you don't, it's impossible to do everything in society by yourself. So you have to find out, okay, these people may not be like the best people, but you know what? They treat me fine. I'm getting paid. Whatever. Then that's the community. You all have a mutual respect, you know, like, and then you can give constructive criticism instead of slandering people. Like, there's this book called How to Like Influence People and stuff. Overrated book. I still listen to it because someone was like, you gotta listen to this book. I'm like, all right, but it's completely overrated. I'm so annoyed with all these marketing wizards like advertising like, oh, just listen to people, be nice. It's just like, that's the most general shit. It's like, come on, man. And it's becoming the most popular book. I'm like shitting on this book. I mean, I'm still glad I read it. It still did teach me some stuff and provide value, but it's like, I don't like every book that I read. It's just an opinion, you know. It's not a fact. I personally wasn't really with it. I just thought it was too general. But on the other note, it did have one good thing. And that is, it's not good to criticize people, no matter what. It's not a good thing to do. You gotta mind, you know, it's like NYC. You in New York, you mind your own fucking business. I carry that everywhere I go. But a lot of people, they like to get into each other's business. That's the problem. You know, they want to meddle and then like try to, like, they change you in a forceful way. They're not like encouraging you. They scold you for what you're doing. And scolding someone for doing something sometimes doesn't do the thing you want them to do or want it to do. Instead, what you might do is give them even more reasons to do what they're doing, what you think is wrong. You know, you trying to stop them inadvertently made them do it even more, because people have like certain opinions and arguments, you know, but a lot of people want to dominate the whole narrative instead of like share a little part of it here and there. You know, like you gotta have some level of compromise. Now, if you're like a child, like freaking 10 years old, 14, yeah, you gotta do everything your parents say. I'm sorry. It's just, you gotta. But once you're old, no, you don't gotta listen. No, you can take their advice here and there, but you don't, no. You know, like you, at the end of the day, can make your own decisions. You are 21, or 18, whatever. You are old enough to make your own decisions with your own life. So, it's a bit of a rant, another rant. No, but I keep seeing people freaking make money from talking on a camera. It looks a lot easier than it actually is. Because I used to not have anything to talk about. I'll just like turn on the camera and then I want everyone to like this is going to be a great world, you know, or it's going to end horribly. But it's like one of those two mediums where it can end really good or really bad. But like the internet has the opportunity to make everything more equal for everybody. Like like now, every time you need to know like an equation, dude, coders go to school and they mostly Google for their job. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? You can't remember billions of lines of code, but that's not all you're learning in school. You're learning other stuff that has to do with coding, and then you just have to Google sometimes. All the time. But like, dude, I wish I was smart enough to comprehend coding, because like I can't comprehend it. Like, no matter what anyone tries to tell me how it is, my mind just cannot wrap itself. Like, you gotta be a genius to be a coder. You gotta be a real smart person. I'm just not like a genius, you know? I'm not like these people going to fucking Mensa or Harvard, you know? Just freaking, I came out of the ghetto, you know? So I had to learn everything the rough way, unlike a lot of these rich kids. I mean, I'm not. Actually, it is a little ghetto around where I live. Like, people act like it's nice, but oh my god, they're just so slick where I live. It's everywhere, dude. Everywhere's a ghetto. Oh, you don't think like millionaire Wall Street people or like other business people are like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker so I can take his business. People are fucked up, man. People are fucked up. That happened to me in Cleveland. Not like shoot, but someone literally like kept threatening me. It worked. I regret letting it work, because now after reading the Bible more, I shouldn't have been so afraid of him. But yeah, like, people are freaking hostile and violent. And a lot of it, and we're gonna go back to the first argument, or the first point, those fucked up family dynamics. And then people don't know how to function in a society. Like, a family is like a mini society. So if your little society ain't even that good, how do you think it's gonna end up when you get out? No, you can either choose two ways. You can choose to be mad at the world and screw everyone over because you're screwed over, or you can see all the hurt you went through and realize I can make it better for other people going through it. Like, I don't have to ruin other people's days just so I can feel better about myself or have money. Like, I just want to genuinely do something good because I don't want people to go through the same bullshit I went through. Deuces.